All right, welcome to The Explainer. We're always told certain skills lead to success. But what if I told you that whole rulebook is being torn up right now? Today, we're digging into how AI is completely changing the game, forcing us to rethink what it even means to be smart. We're going to figure out the essential skills you'll need to thrive in a world that, frankly, is getting harder and harder to predict. And look, this isn't some far off sci fi future. Check this out. An AI model just recently pulled off something pretty mind blowing. It got a perfect score, in a super tough international programming competition. We're talking about an event where the best of the best from places like MIT and Tsinghai University compete. And the AI didn't just hang with them, it beat them. Cold. Just a flawless victory. So that really makes you stop and think, right? I mean, if an AI can outperform the absolute brightest human minds on these incredibly complex, logic based tasks, what's left for us? Seriously, what are we supposed to be good at? What skills should you or your kids be focusing on right now? Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the massive shakeup AI is causing in education. Then we'll talk about why the old ways we measure success, grades, test scores, are basically broken. After that, we'll zero in on the one crucial ability that's becoming the new gold standard. And finally, we'll lay out a four-part plan for building that innovator's mindset, one that's about more than just a paycheck. All right, first things first. Let's talk about the real world, the job market. Because AI isn't just a cool tech demo, it's sending massive shockwaves through the professional world. The ground is definitely shifting under our feet, and you can already see the cracks forming. And this is where it gets really real. Just take a look at what the biggest names in tech are doing. Google? They're not planning to hire more people, zero growth. Meta? They're actually planning to reduce their headcount by 10%. Now, this isn't just a bad quarter, this is a fundamental shift. They're realizing they just don't need armies of people for the predictable stuff anymore because AI is getting so good at it. They're hunting for a totally different kind of talent now. And that leads us right to the next big problem. This new world needs new skills, which means the old ways we measured talent, well, they're just broken. A fancy degree, a perfect SAT score, a 4.0 GPA. None of it really tells you if a person has what it takes anymore. For generations, our whole education system has been built around this idea of Tao Lu. It's all about memorizing fixed methods, these routines, to solve problems you know are coming. Think about it. That's what standardized tests are all about. And hey, for a long time, in a more predictable world, that actually worked pretty well. But, and this is the big but, that whole game has changed. The old goal was simple: master the formula, beat the test. Well, guess what? AI can do that in its sleep now, better than any human. So the new goal for us, it's to solve the problems that don't have a formula. The messy, novel problems that you've never, ever seen before. The ones that require real creativity. So what happens when the old system meets new tech? Well, you get chaos. Our traditional ways of grading people are completely compromised now. I mean, you've got students using AI to write papers and solve problems. You've even got these crazy, sophisticated cheating devices like earpieces you can't even see. Suddenly, things like a GPA or a high score on a math competition, you just can't trust them like you used to. This puts recruiters, college admissions officers, everyone in a really tough spot. And what they're figuring out is that maybe, just maybe, the only reliable test left is the oldest one in the book: a live interview. Putting a person in front of a whiteboard with a totally new problem and just watching. How do they think on their feet? In real time, no hiding. Okay, so all this disruption sounds kind of scary, right? But it's not just a crisis. It's also a moment of incredible clarity. It's forcing us to focus on what really matters. It's pointing us to a new North Star for learning, the one primary skill that will define success in the age of AI. And here it is. This is the big one. According to experts like Professor Poshan Low, the single most valuable skill a person can have now is the ability to solve problems they have never encountered before, to look at something completely unfamiliar and figure it out from scratch. That's the thing AI can't just go and replicate. So, the big question is, if that's the goal, how do you actually get there? How do you build that muscle? Well, the good news is it's not magic. There's actually a pretty clear framework for it. It boils down to 4 key steps for building what you might call an innovator's mind. And this pretty much lays out the whole roadmap. Step 1, you have to reject the formulas. Just break free from that tall loo trap of rote memorization. Step 2 is all about innovation, learning to come up with your own solutions. Step 3 might surprise you. Think in code, not just to be a programmer, but to build really disciplined, logical thinking. And finally, step 4, design for humans. You have to connect all that tech and logic back to solving real problems for real people. And that last piece, design for humans, that's actually a whole field of study called human-computer interaction, or HCI for short. And at its core, HCI is all about empathy. It's about really understanding what people are struggling with, their pain points, and then building technology that genuinely makes their lives easier and better. Which brings us to the last, and honestly, maybe the most important part of this whole thing. This new way of thinking, it's not just a strategy to get a better job, it's bigger than that. It's about finding a real purpose for your work and, frankly, rethinking what we even consider success to be. Now, this idea here is meant to be a little provocative, for sure. The argument goes like this. When the tools we have are this powerful, the why behind what you're doing becomes more important than ever. The motivation can't just be about chasing a huge salary or getting into some elite school. It has to shift towards something more like a genuine drive to actually help people. So the end game here isn't about building the next addictive social media app. It's about creating tools that empower the people who really make society run. Building something that helps a doctor spot a disease earlier or gives a teacher a new way to connect with her students. It's about using these incredible skills to create real, tangible good in the world. So here's the bottom line. The old map we've all been following for school and our careers, it's useless now. Throw it out. The predictable world it was designed for is, well, it's gone. We're all standing at the edge of this vast, uncharted territory. So the only real question left for every single one of us is, what new territory are you going to explore first?